Am I the asshole? For refusing to allow my family's property will to me be used for my cousin's second wedding? I am the owner of a property that was formerly my grandpa's home. My grandpa was a farmer and he had this awesome property built whenever my mom and her sisters were in high school. This was the family house, which my grandpa also built a giant garage on, which my cousins have been using as a reception hall the last few years for their weddings. When my grandma died, my grandpa and me started hanging more, and I worked at the property since I was little. I am the only grandson he had. All my cousins on my mom's side are girls. In 2018 my grandpa passed away and I was left the property. This caused a bunch of drama amongst the family. But I know exactly why my grandpa did it. My grandpa was not a perfect person. He was very old-fashioned. Hated divorce and was very traditional. His beliefs clashed with his daughters. He wanted to hand his farm down to his son. He didn't have any and none of my aunts married the type of dudes he liked. So I became the de facto option. My grandpa especially disliked how my aunts were in their relationships cause he preached commitment. That man loved and was loyal to my grandma. My cousin is getting married this fall. I'm at my parents' house and my aunt goes, well, the reception will be at the house. I told her nobody has talked to me yet. She said that since every other cousin had their reception there it should be a tradition. I said sure, but they all asked me and I wanted them there. Her daughter didn't ask me and I don't support the wedding. It's really legit reason. This is my cousin's second wedding. I'm not even close with her. We differ politically, so I have her muted on social media. I didn't even know she was engaged. Me and this cousin hardly speak. Also, this is her second marriage. She cheated on her first husband with this dude, who was also married at the time. My grandpa would never approve of that or want that on his property. Also, I would have to be involved in the setup and cleanup if it's at the house. I don't care to sacrifice my time. If she wants to rent the property and my time, then she can pay me a premium for the short notice. But I'm not doing it for free. I explained this all to my aunt and my cousin. They both threw a fit and tried having my mom talk to me. She tried pulling the family card and a guilt trip about my cousin having no money. I said my cousin has no money because of her divorce. It's a sham wedding and her dad wouldn't support it and she knows that. There was a reason that her dad didn't trust the property to his own kids. I said all my other cousins have been good people, so I was willing to help. But this cousin and aunt are rude. My mom said I won't be invited to Christmas most likely then. I said okay, find another venue while you are at the house is the hangout spot for Christmas. My dad is calling me but I need to a fair judgment. Am I the asshole? Info: did your grandfather disown your mom and aunts or was it just the property left to you? ESH. They should have asked first rather than assume. You have every right to refuse, but your reasons kind of suck. I'm confused. How did your mom and I assume your aunts since they tried to have her guilt trip? You think you would be okay with not being invited to Christmas, but be okay with it still being held there? ESH. You sound totally judgmental. You're entitled to be if you want, but it still sucks. Your cousin sucks for just assuming she'd be able to use your property without asking you. Also, misogynistic grandpa obviously sucks too. Not the asshole. You own a property. People who want to use it should at least have the decency to ask your permission rather than assuming. I don't agree with your morality policing stance, but your property, your rules. ESH. You suck for using your grandpa's sexist and bigoted views as an excuse for not wanting your family to use your home. And if you agree with his views, you're the out for that. Your aunt sucks for just expecting you to be okay with having a wedding reception at your house without asking. Your mom sucks for thinking she can just uninvite you to a gathering in your own home. At this point, your whole family needs help. To using your grandpa's views as an excuse is kinda shitty. Stand by your own opinions. You don't like your cousin and disagree with her choices? That's okay. Who pays the property taxes and upkeep? If it is solely on you, not the asshole. Sad to see so many people seem to believe any wrongness regarding your grandfather's views on marriage should somehow trump your right to act in accordance with them so long as it doesn't interfere with the rights of others. And others don't have the right to get to use your stuff without your approval, regardless of the reasons for that disapproval. The fact of the matter is this is your property and nobody is entitled to their use of it without your consent. Certainly it is wrong for anyone to put any level of pressure on you to let them. Not the asshole, it's your property. Simple. Ugh. You're not the asshole since it's your house and all. But you're a now in life. Not the asshole, he left you the property, they can't just demand you let them use it as it was used before. If politics was your only reason, I'd say you're the asshole, but I think the cheating and other reasons make you not the asshole. I don't think politics is that big of a reason for you to say no cause you have her muted on social media, not blocked. I don't care about the viewpoints or whatever, but your cousin isn't a good person if she can cheat and her fiancé is just as bad as her. That is your house and land. No one can tell you what to do with it at all, even if they're your elders, mom, aunt, family, etc. I find it funny your mom threatened to uninvite you to a party that's at your own house, lol. With a statement like that, I honestly wouldn't have it there for principle cause that's my house df, smiley face, not the asshole. Not the asshole, it's your property and you can allow or not allow whatever wedding there. It's very rude of your cousin to not ask you but just to assume. And it's not your problem that she has no money. I'm confused as what your mom expected to happen if you weren't invited to Christmas if it's usually at that house. Just for you to not be there, at the house you now own? If the family really wants her to have the wedding there, then they can all chip in to pay whatever fee you charge for a last-minute wedding. Especially if you are the one that'll be cleaning up. Not the asshole. Your property. Period. Not the asshole. Your property, your rules. I don't get why people think they can intrude on someone else's property. For this very specific occasion, since she cheated on her ex-husband, you are not the asshole for not supporting her second marriage, especially since she didn't even consult you about it. With that being said, I sense an underlying tone of sexism from your grandpa, and you seem to be preaching from the same choir. Watch out. ESH. It's your property, not your family's. You're entitled to use it any way you please, and your family are not entitled to expect access. However, it's clear your grandpa was a sexist asshole, and the only reason he gave the property to you is because you have a penis and are also a sexist asshole. So, congrats. You're not the asshole for asserting your right to your possessions, but you are, in fact, a giant, creepy asshole. I know I'll be downvoted for this, but who cares, not the asshole, because the house is yours and if you don't feel comfortable with someone using there, you have no obligation having them there. Family full of Oz, I'm sure there's a trailer park nearby with a common area. This is the most divided comment section I have ever seen. Oh, and not the asshole. Not the asshole for refusing your property to others who feel entitled to it. Anything past that is family drama, and decades of factors that cannot be sorted out. Not your problem. Not the asshole. It's your property, your choice. Doesn't sound like you're close to your cousin Andy either, and they could have asked you at least. Your mom is wrong for her reaction as well. Sounds to me your grandpa wanted to keep the property in the family without it being sold or split up, so he chose you. Not the asshole. Your property, do with it as you want. I wouldn't want someone getting married to their affair partner on my property either. Maybe the family needed some better morals. Cause it sounds from this like a lot of these women cheated on their partners from your post. Not the asshole. Not the asshole in this situation seems everyone else is. Not the asshole. Everyone's screaming sexist. So people aren't allowed to have morals anymore? Get over your mainstream today tradition. That's why divorce is so high. He's respecting not only how his grandpa felt, but this is also how he feels. His property, his rules. His home now. No one should use anything without asking first. Along with holidays. And how dare they even have the balls to say he may not be invited to Christmas at a home he owns. It's laughable. The family messed up by expecting something when the gramp died. Shows you. Vultures. He picked his heir. I'd be concerned with the liability of everyone at and in my house. People drinking and leaving, etc. Not the asshole. There is nothing wrong with not wanting to show support for a relationship that came about in such an unsavory way. Also, they didn't even tell you or ask. Did I read this right? They weren't going to invite you to Christmas but hold it on your own property? I don't think they are getting that they have no legal right to the property. Not the asshole simply because the family except for the OP is acting like it's still a family home and it's not. I think if your cousin has asked or begged, he might have said yes. Going to go with not the asshole for a few reasons. The property is now yours and you get to decide who uses it now. Your grandfather sounds a bit discriminatory but sounds like he wouldn't have allowed it. Main reason is why should divorced cousin whom you have no contact with get it for free? If she has no dollar, the justice of the peace or courthouse is down the street. I wouldn't allow it. Sounds like the event would be a nightmare. People always play the family card. It's a synonym for free. Sorry. No. Not the asshole. Your reasons aside, people shouldn't plan things without the owner's permission, full stop. A woo-oh-oh load of PPL in here calling OP judgmental for, checks notes, judging someone for cheating? That can't be right. Weird. Anyway, not the asshole op. Your cousin can kick rocks. Also love the you can't come to Christmas, then okay, find another place to do it I guess. Mom bluffed her way into a problem there.